Well, hello everybody, welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Wednesday, only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. Want to welcome you to the All 60s edition this October 19th, 2022, as we go through the month of October. I can't believe it. It's actually getting cold here in Westchester County. It was in the high 30s last night. Pretty cold here, but we're going to warm you up with some cool Soul 45s out of my collection. It's the All 60s edition. We play just 1960s Soul 45s out of Johnny G's collection, all on original vinyl. Opened up tonight with saxophonist Joe Burrell, also known as Big Joe Burrell. This was on a K. Williams Jr. record label out of Philadelphia. Now, this Philly disc jockey named the label after his son, Junior. That's what he called his son, Junior. But the song, interestingly enough, was called The Horse. Now, you would think of Cliff Noble's The Horse, but no. The Horse, in this instant, was dedicated to Charles Sifford. Now, Charles Sifford, he was the first African-American to play on the PGA Tour. And he would move to Philadelphia and become the valet of singer Billy Eckstine, who introduced him to a lot of people. But Billy Eckstine called him the Little Horse, and he traveled the world with Eckstine, and he became close friends with other people in the jazz field, like Sarah Vaughan and Oscar Peterson and Count Basie. And that was a song that saxophonist Joe Burrell dedicated to that PGA golfer. His name was Charles Sifford. This one from September 64, Joe Burrell on the Junior label. It's called The Horse. Anyway, Johnny G might be a little hoarse today. It's with the allergies. That's what happens every time this year. But enough of my babbling here. Let's open up the vocal portion. And this group is out of Brooklyn, New York. It was their only release. It came out on the Verve label. It features Richard Thomas on lead, a.k.a. Richard Thompson. He's the lead singer, and he was also the group's lead guitarist. This is from March 67. Give a listen to King Davis's House Rockers on the Verve label. It's called Baby, You Satisfy Me. Yeah, we open up there from March 1967 with King Davis House Rockers. It should be an apostrophe after that. You would think it would be King Davis's House Rockers. It just says King Davis House Rockers. That's on the Verve label. Baby You Satisfy Me. Richard Thomas, the lead singer on that. Now, he also, his real name was Richard Thompson. Now, Thompson, along with fellow group members Bill Risebrook, he was on tenor sax, and Carlos Ward, the alto sax, went on to becoming members of the BT Express. A record I purchased by BT Express was in 1974 called Do It Till You're Satisfied. That came out on the Scepter record label. And also singer Billy Frazier, who wrote this song, he would release it by himself in 1969 on the Capitol label. So he covered his own tune there. As we continue here, it's the All 60s Soul Edition on this cool night here, 47 degrees where Johnny G is. Now, 2 weeks ago, I featured this singer from Durant, Mississippi, his first of 12 on the Minute label. It was a cool tune. It was called Baby I Love You. It was a #1 song on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, this is the B-side here, and to his follow-up. And this is the B-side to his follow-up to that tune, his second of 12 on the Minute label. The A-side was called The Turning Point. This is the B-side. It's a song he wrote, and this did chart. This charted number 30 on XEGM in San Diego, California. We go back to October 1966 for the sound of Jimmy Holiday. Jimmy Holiday on the Minute label. It's called I'm Gonna Move to the City.
I'm gonna move to the city. Stay here is a pity. Gonna move to the city. Yes, I am, Lord, yes, I am. Country folk, Lord, I love them. I think the whole wide world of them. They got a heart made of gold, and the real nitty-gritty kind of soul. I've been country for days myself, but it's high time that I live. That's why I'm gonna move to the city. To stay here is a pity. I'm gonna move to the city. Yes, I am, Lord, yes, I am. Go to work when the rooster crows. It's all in the world that I know, and I'm so sick and tired of the sound. Can't back me till the sun goes down. So I'm gonna pack my bag, 'cause stopping hogs to me is a drag. That's why I'm gonna move to the city. To stay here is a pity. I'm gonna move to the city. Yes, I am, Lord, yes, I am. Listen now, I work as hard as any man, but all I get is coins in my hand. I want a house so large and 2 cars. Wanna live like the movie stars. Got to learn the duck and the twine, 'cause if I don't, I'm gonna blow my mind. That's why I'm gonna move to the city. To stay here is a pity. Got to move to the city. Yes, I am, Lord, yes, I am. Oh, got to move. I'm gonna move. Gonna move. Gonna get out of here. Bye-bye, baby. Got to go.
Actually, I think people are moving out of the city there. That's Jimmy Holiday, the B-side to his second of 12 on the Minute record label, October 1966 release, I'm Gonna Move to the City is the name of that one. As we move on here, and this gal, she was born in Orlando, Florida, but she was raised in the state of Alabama. At 17, she left home for California, mentoring under R&B great singer Big May Bell, and she had her first release on the Douglas label back in 1962. I have that 45, but record promoter Babe Sivan recommended she go to New York City and set up an audition. He set up an audition with her to meet Burt Burns, and the result was a big hit for her on the Jubilee label in 1963. A cool tune she does, it's called Cry to Me. Then in 1965, she met New Orleans singer, composer, producer Alan Tucson, and she had her second biggest hit that came out on his label, the Sansu label. It was called I'm Evil Tonight. That was her first of 10 on Sansu. This is her 8th release on the Sansu label. Tune written by Alan Tucson. This charted number 37 on WYLD in New Orleans, Louisiana. Let's go to September 1967 for Betty Harris. Betty Harris on the Sansu label. It's called Mean Man. That's Betty Harris there. Betty Harris, that's her 8th release on the Sansu record label, Mean Man. I had the wrong date. September 67 was I'm Evil Tonight. This is February 68 release for her. Mean Man is the name of that one. Now, on last week's All 60 show, I featured Fred Hughes. Fred Hughes, he was originally from Arkansas, but he relocated to Compton, California, played his second of 3 on the VJ record label. It was called You Can't Take It Away. How about we listen to his first on the VJ record? record label, which was his biggest hit. This was his biggest hit, and I like this record. Charted number 23 on both Billboard and Cashbox. A big number 3 record on the R&B chart. Was number 1, though, on WCHB in Detroit and also WABQ in Cleveland, and also KGFJ out in LA, California. Let's go to May of 1965. Let's send this one out to Jerry Nays, and I know he likes Fred Hughes. This is on the VJ record label. It's called Ooh Wee Baby, I Love You. We'll send that one out to Jerry Nays in there, the sound of Fred Hughes. That was his biggest hit, his first release on the VJ record label, May 1965. Ooh Wee Baby, I Love You. There is a video clip of him doing that on the Shivery show out in California. Now, prior to going solo, he was the lead singer of the Symbols. The lead singer of the Symbols recorded on the Amazon record label back in 1962. I featured that record on my All 50 show on the Saturday night show. Let's continue now for this next singer, songwriter out of Nashville, Tennessee. First recording for the Rich label back in 1959, but other releases on Smash and Boom and Scepter, and then he signed with the Philips label in 1966, had 7 releases on Philips. Of course, his first would become his biggest hit, a number 2 national hit. It was called Sunny. He followed it up with a song called A Satisfied Mind, which is pretty good, but let's give a listen to the B-side of the 45, as both sides of this 45 were written by Jerry Ross and Joe Renzetti. Ross also produced it, and Renzetti arranged it. This charted somewhere, number 21 on KXLY in Spokane, Washington. Let's go back to September 1966 for the sound of Bobby Hebb. Bobby Hebb on the Philips label. The song is called Love, Love, Love.
That makes my day seem brighter. Love is your arms around me, makes my troubles lighter. When
It's a cool tune by Bobby Hebb. That's the side my aunt used to play. Bobby Hebb, September 1966. That's the B-side of A Satisfied Mind. Love, Love, Love. That's on the Phillips label. Mark Speck mentions that William Bonney also recorded that. I don't know who did it first, but I have that William Bonney. I have featured it here on the show. It's on the Mercury record label. Let's continue now. And, okay, this next gal, she was born in a Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Oh my God, I didn't separate the comma from Louisiana. Gee whiz, Johnny. And this gal was considered the soul queen of New Orleans. She was discovered by Tommy Ridgely while working as a waitress. Her real name is Irma Lee, but you know her as Irma Thomas, first recording for Joe Ruffino's Ron label in the fall of 1959. Then in 1961, she signed with Minute Records, and then in 1963, Minute Records was acquired by Imperial, so she would gravitate over to the Imperial label. She would have 9 on Imperial, and this was her, she would have 9 records on Imperial. Wait. Doesn't sound right. Probably, I guess, 9 records altogether. I don't know what I wrote there. But this is her final release, and it's a James Brown production. This is from June of 1966. Give a listen to Miss Irma Thomas. Irma Thomas on the Imperial record label, and I read that she is still actively singing, and a lot of people ask her to sing this song, but she refuses to do this song, and she just wouldn't say anything about this song that she recorded in her. She just won't do it. She'd do anything, any other song. You can shout out any record to any song to her, but she won't do this song. But I'm going to play it tonight. June 66, Irma Thomas on Imperial. It's called It's a Man's Woman's World Part 1.
If this is a man's world, what can I do when he's made so many wonderful things for me and you? Where can I go but in his world? If he'll stand for his woman or his girl, can't go no place, I'm caught in the rain. When a man loves a woman, when a man loves a woman, I'll give my heart, I'll give my soul, never to part or to grow old. Yes, love, this is a man's world, and it's just a few things in life that a woman can do without a man. Isn't it a shame? You just can't seem to do without those 4 things that are called a man. Yes, there are good ones, bad ones, soulful ones, hateful ones, but they're all still men. His girl, then I will know this as they say, nothing's good until you suffer for it. So, suffer, suffer, suffer. Yes, this is your world, baby, and live it. Live it any way you please.
I agree with Warren. That's definitely a cool ballad there from Miss Irma Thomas. That was her final release for the Imperial record banner. Is a June 1966. It's a man's-woman's world. That's part one that came out on the Imperial record label, and that's what she said. She will not record that song. I don't know if it's like a feminist thing or something. I don't know what it is. But if you're new to the program here, watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, please click the thumbs up. If you click the bell, you need to click to get all notifications so you get an email when Johnny G is live. That's all of you tuned in on YouTube. Tell your friends about the program here. I only spin original vinyl 45s. You know, it's not some rare stuff, some not so rare stuff, but it's a good records that you really don't hear a lot of these anywhere, not on the radio anywhere. So, I mean, I'm a big collector of this stuff. Been collecting my entire lifetime here. Just retired, turned 64 in September. I'm waiting for 65 now, but I'm kind of holding tight with the collection here. But you got to tune in on Wednesday evenings. I'm here beginning at 9 o'clock here on Oldies and More, and also live on YouTube. And sometimes I do spontaneous shows, so you never know with Johnny G as we continue here now. And I've been featuring this next artist, born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but he grew up in Latta, South Carolina, until he moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And when he was 13 years old when he moved to Pittsburgh, first recording with the Del Vikings, you know, that 1950s group. But he went solo in 1959 with releases on Petite, Clock, Belltone, Alcar, Les K, Amy, Atco, and then in 1961, he signed with Wand Records. 1961, he had 32 releases on the Wand label. So if you collect this guy, you got to leave a little bit of room for his 45s. He had 32 releases between 1961 and 1968. This is the A-side to his 12th, and it was actually recycled. They recycled this record as the B-side to his 15th. So if you have his rendition of Since I Don't Have You, which is actually a pretty good rendition of the tune, he put this on the flip side of that. But I'm featuring it the first way that came out in February of 64, a tune written by Robert Mosley. And Robert Mosley, by the way, would have his own recordings on Coed and Capitol, but this charted number 92 on Billboard. Should have done better than that. 72 on Cashbox, but it was a 27 record on WKNR if you were tuned in the Detroit, Dearborn, Michigan area. Anyway, it's a great tune. Mark Speck mentioned it in the chat. February 64, Mr. Chuck Jackson on Wand. It's called Hand It Over.
Will you let me have all of your loving and affection? Yeah. Will you give me your heart and leave it under my protection? Yeah. If you will, I want you to be my wife. If you will, I'll love you for the rest of my life. Hand it over. Hand it over. Hand it over. And I'll give my love to you. Yeah. Give it to me now, honey. Please don't wait until tomorrow. No. Give it to me now, put it off would only bring me sorrows. Yeah, say you need my arms around you every night. Baby, please tell me everything's alright. Hand it over. Hand it on over. I need it now. Hand it on over. And I'll give my love to you. will give you everything if you would only say yes. I would try to buy you spring if it only meant your happiness. Let me know where I stand. Tell me now if you really want me. Yeah, I will be a happy man if you would really love me sincerely. Come on, baby, take me for a ride. I know, mama, this has got to be the night, so hand it over. Hand it on over. All right, hand it over, and I'll hand my love to you. Hand it on over. I need your gift. Hand it on over. That's what I've been. So I hand it over right now. Right now.
That's the great sound of Chuck Jackson. Gonna stay tuned for his records on future Vinyl Treasure shows, 60s edition there. February 64, Chuck Jackson on the Juan label. It's called Hand It Over. Johnny G hands it over every Monday night from 9 to midnight right here on Oldies and More Radio, also on YouTube. Let's continue now. Let's go back to Detroit. This group is out of Detroit, Michigan. They're called the Valiant Trio. Now, I really can't tell you so much about this 45, but I'm going to play both sides of the record. And interesting, I did find out something about this, I think. But this is the intended B-side of the 45. We'll play that first. Now, this B-side came out on the it's on the EV label. My light is flickering here. That better not be the power. But this is on the EV label, pressed by Columbia Records, written by Richard Popcorn Wiley. And this is the interesting part. The other writer on this, and actually wrote the flip side, is Matthew Barnett. And I think it's the same Matthew Barnett that has a record on the Puff label. And I know Dave the Rave has it. I don't have it. It's the song called If Your Love Is Real. I think this is Matthew Barnett also, but an earlier release by him. This is from January 1966. They're called the Valiant Trio on EV Records, and I think Matthew Barnett is the lead singer on this. It's called You Left Me.
You left me, pain in my heart, You left me, nothing but memories, Never thought you would leave me, never thought you could be so untrue.
That's the sound of the Valiant Trio. Valiant Trio from January 1966. It's on the EV label. This light is driving me bonkers. Johnny G not doing flashing lights here. That's my stupid lamp. That bulb ain't working right. And so I'm going to have to change that. It's driving me crazy. It looks like I'm having lightning strikes here. But anyways, January 1966, the Valiant Trio on EV Records, song entitled You Left Me. Johnny G not leaving you. We're going to flip the 45 over here and give a listen to the flip side of this. And I'm going to get a new light bulb and change it while I burn my fingers on that one there. But let's give a listen to this is the intended A-side by the Valiant Trio on EV Records. Now, this side actually charted. This side charted number 45 on WCHB in Detroit, Michigan, a tune written by Matthew Barnett, who I think is the lead singer on this. January 66, the Valiant Trio. It's called I'll Make Her Mine. There you go there. Those are the Valiant Trio there, January 1966. It's on the EV record label. I'll Make You Mine is the name of the tune. Matthew Barnett. I'm pretty sure he is the lead singer on that. I put the new light bulb in. How's it look, folks? The new light there lighting up the turntables here tonight as we stay in Detroit now for the sound of the Supremes. Now, they would have 5 consecutive #1 records on the Billboard Hot 100 between the summer of 1964 through the spring of 1965. Now, Where Did Our Love Go would be their first #1, but let's give a spin to the B-side to their second release. And this was the group's 8th release overall on Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown record label. The A-side was called Baby Love. Of course, I dare not play that record for a copyright strike, although I have a couple hits for today. But this song was earmarked for Kim Weston, but for some reason, Berry Gordy Jr. decided to give it to the Supremes. And I don't know what it was, but she would have... It would have sounded good with her doing it, but this is not bad. I like this record. This was a side that my aunt played. Diana Ross on lead, September 1964, the Supremes. If you flip over Baby Love on the Motown record label, this is the B-side. It's called Ask Any Girl.
Being hurt by the one you love, it's a feeling but you don't seem to understand why. When I'm alone, I sit and cry.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go. The Supremes, the B-side to Baby Love, a song called Ask Any Girl, September 1964 on the Motown record label. Now, this was taken off their LP, if you have that Where Did Our Love Go LP. Now, do you know what the group's next three number ones were consecutively? It was Come See About Me, it was then Stop in the Name of Love, it was then Back in My Arms Again. Now, if it wasn't for this record, the next one that came in at only number 11, Nothing But Heartaches, they would have had their sixth consecutive number one record, which was I Hear a Symphony. Big money maker, the Supremes, for Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown record label. Let's move on here. Let's go to Memphis, Tennessee now for this next group. They signed with the local Pepper label, which was out of Nashville, Tennessee, a label mostly known for music jingles and for production library music for broadcast station usage, which is very interesting. But they also put out a number of singles. Rita Coolidge, by the way, had a couple of singles on this label, as well as this group known as the Shortcuts with a K. The Shortcuts. This was their second of 5 on the Pepper label. It features Eddie Harrison on lead. This charted number 28 on WAME if you were tuned in Miami, Florida, May 1968. The Shortcuts on Pepper. It's called Loosen Up.
Just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. You've been hurt once, but girl, you won't be hurt no more. No more, no more.
Who's Diana? I didn't say Diana Rose. I said Diana Ross. Some people need to get their hearing aids put in right. Although sometimes, with the baritone voice, my father can't hear. My father with his hearing aids, when I took him up to the VA, he said, your father's not going to be able to understand you because he can't understand your baritone voice. The girls like my voice, though. That's when I was on Match.com about 11 or 12 years ago. That they wanted to know the best part about me. It was my voice. They like my voice. They like me to whisper in their ear. So I whisper in Loosen Up There, which we just heard by a group called The Shortcuts with a K, May 1968. That's on the Pepper record label as we loosen up here on a Wednesday evening. And for this next singer, songwriter, organist from Monroe, Louisiana, signed with Stan Lewis's Ron label in 1967. He would have a big R&B hit with his first release on the Ron label. It was called Nothing Takes the Place of You. But let's give a listen to his final release on the Ron label. This is his seventh. It's a song he wrote. We go to February 1969 for Tucson McCall. Tucson McCall on the Ron label. It's called Baby, You Got It.
You got it, and I want it. You got just what I need. You got it, and I need it. Oh, you should know how to please. So many people, they tried to tell me, oh, how you been treating me wrong. But they just don't know, and they wouldn't understand. Oh, without you, I just can't get along. Baby, I love you, and I want you, 'cause I'm begging on bending knee. Girl, I need you. I just got to have you. You know you're everything I need. I don't mind the people talking, and I don't mind them teasing. I don't even mind being laughed at as long as you keep pleasing, 'cause I love you. I just got to have you. Oh, you're everything I need. You got it, and I want it. Oh, you got just what I need. Oh, I love you, baby, I need you. Oh, everything I need. Oh, yeah.
February 69 there for Tucson McCall. That one there on the Ron record label. That's his final release on Ron from, I mentioned February 69. Baby, You Got It is the name of the tune. In 1988, he made a cameo appearance in the John Waters film Hairspray. He was lip-syncing to his hit, Nothing Takes the Place of You. It was kind of weird, though, because that record came out, I think, in like 1967, and that film was supposed to take place in like Baltimore of 1962. So it was kind of weird on what Waters did there with that. Maybe you liked the song. I don't know. Let's continue. Here we go to the sound of Philadelphia now, here on the All 60s edition. This group signed with Gilda Woods' Dion record label in late 1966. They would have their very first release on the Dion label, or Dion, no, Dion, Dionn. I know we had this conversation before, but it's the group's debut single, which became their biggest hit, number 22 on Cashbox, number 20 on Billboard, number 8 on the R&B chart, a big number 2 record if you were tuned into KMEN in San Bernardino, California, or KAFY in Bakersfield, California. Co-written by the lead singer. Her name is Brenda Payton. This one from December 66. Let's give a listen to Brenda and the Tabulations. And we'll say their big, this had to be their biggest hit, because right at the tip of my tongue might have been their second biggest, but this is their biggest on the Dion record label. It's called Dry Your Eyes.
Dry your eyes. There's no need to cry. I'm so sorry, but bye so long. Mother's gotta go now.
That's the sound of Philadelphia here on the All 60s edition. The sound of Brenda and the Tabulations. That's their debut single, Brenda Payton on lead. That kicked off the Dion, we'll call it Dion, thank you, Mark, Dion record label, released in December of 1966, song entitled Dry Your Eyes. That was the first of 8 on the label. In 1969, they had releases on the Top and Bottom label. He also recorded for Epic and Chocolate City Records. We continue now for this next singer, originally out of Lapeer, Michigan. He was the lead singer of a group called The Pack. They signed with Lucky 11 Records in 1965. They had their biggest hit in the fall of 1966, was their 5th of 7 on the Lucky 11 label. It was a cover of the Benny King tune, I Who Have Nothing, but the group would break up after their 7th release, and the lead singer, his name was Richard Terrence Knapp, a.k.a. Terry Knight, he would pursue a solo career, recording for the Cameo label. Now, Cameo Records distributed all those Lucky 11 45's, but he had 2 releases on the Cameo label. This was his second, tune written by Barry Mann and Cynthia Wilde, and this, though, is a cover. This was first recorded by Wilson Pickett on the Atlantic label back in 1965, but this one charted number 7 on WTRX. If you were listening in Flint, Michigan, let's go to July of 1967 for Mr. Terry Knight. Terry Knight on the Cameo label. It's called Come Home, Baby.
I know just how bad I've hurt you. Let me make it up some way. What can I do just to prove I love you? Should I beg on my knees, baby, please come home? Baby, come home. Oh, come on home, baby. I need you by my side, girl. I'll be good to you, I promise.
Oh, I promise.
I'll do anything you say. I need your kiss. I can't go on like this. Treat me bad if you must, baby. Just come home. Oh, baby, come home. Please, baby, come on home. I'm begging you, begging you, begging you, begging you, begging, baby, come on home. What can I do just to prove I love you? Baby, come on home. Oh, come home, baby. I'm begging you, please. Please, baby, come on home. Baby, baby, I get down on my knees. I'm begging you, baby, begging, please. Oh, baby, oh, come on.
That's the second of 2 for Terry Knight, a solo effort by him on the Cameo record label, July 1967, Come Home, Baby. Now, it was really an unfortunate demise to Mr. Terry Knight there, because he was stabbed to death. He was stabbed to death on November 1st of 2004 by his teenage daughter's estranged boyfriend. So there was some type of fight or whatever. He didn't approve or whatever it is. So the kid just stabbed him, and he unfortunately died. And he was 61 years old. An unfortunate demise to Terry Knight. We remember him here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here. Let's up next a couple of brothers from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, first recorded for the Kuka label. I have to ask Brian Korn, do you have Little Artie and the Pharaohs? Came out in 1963. I need that 45 if you do. But they met up with record producer Joe DeFrancesco, who financed a session at Stereophonic Recording Studios in Chicago, Illinois. And the result was this 45, their first of 2 on the Destination label. And listen closely. Tell me if you think that they sound like the Righteous Brothers. They are real brothers. They are Artie and Al Herrera. They are recording as Cain and Abel. This was number 33 on WTIX in New Orleans, Louisiana. We go to July of 1965 for Cain and Abel. On the Destination label, it's called Break Down and Cry. Are these the Righteous Brothers?
I keep telling myself, girl's gone, there's nobody else. She left me alone, feeling so blue. She doesn't know that I'm crying too. A lot of people don't understand. They say if you cry, you're not a man. Oh, a man ain't supposed to cry. Said a man ain't supposed to cry. There isn't a man in this world who hasn't cried because of a girl. Break down and cry like a little boy. Break down and cry like a little boy. Break down and cry. Girl, why did you come my way? Our love is gone, you just threw it away. Can't you see the tears in my eyes? I think you're gonna see the big man cry. A lot of people don't understand. They say if you cry, you're not a man. 'Cause a man is supposed to cry. Said a man is supposed to cry. There isn't a man in this world who hasn't cried because of a girl. Break down and cry like a little boy. Break down and cry like a baby boy. Break down and cry. Break down and cry like a little boy. If you cry, cry like a little boy. Break down and cry like a little boy. Now breathe and cry like a little boy. Break down and cry like a little boy.
That's the first of two for Cain and Abel on the Destination record label. Came out in July of 1965. Breakdown and Cry is the name of the two. Now, when the Righteous Brothers first heard this song, they actually questioned themselves. They said, when did we record this? And they had no memory of it. Of course, they thought it was them, but of course it was not. And of course, this group would have, this duet would have one more release on the Redbird record label in May of 1966. They would later become lead singers for a group called The Mob. As we continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and up next is a request for listener Jerry Nazin. This girl group out of Washington, D.C., they first recorded as the Impalas in 1961 on the Checker label. They would later record as the Four Jewels in 1963 for Start Records. They dropped the Four to become the Jewels in 1964. They had two releases on the Dimension record label. This was their first of two. This charted number 59 on Cashbox, number 64 on Billboard, number two record on KRLA in Los Angeles, California, also KGB in San Diego, California. They like this tune out there in California, written by Randall Stewart and Ray Evans, arranged and produced by Gene Page. This one from July 1964, going out to Jerry Nazin. Sandra Peoples, she's the lead singer. These are the Jewels on Dimension. It's called Opportunity.
go straight to his head. Somebody help him. Opportunity road. Somebody help him. My baby. Opportunity road. Take a lesson from a fool's advice. Opportunity knocks once, not twice. They say opportunity is like a father time. It keeps on rolling, he'll pass you by. Somebody help him. Opportunity road. Somebody help him. Opportunity road. Opportunity road. Comes once in a life. He runs all day in the rise of sun. He don't come home until the night is done. Oh, the fool don't know he has so much fun. But for him, the future is done. Yeah, 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 yeah. Opportunity road. Somebody help opportunity road. Opportunity road. Somebody help him. Opportunity road. Mama, baby. Yeah. Somebody help him. Oh yes, I love this mama.
As by request for Jerry Nays, and we'll send it out to Miami Santi in the Oldies and More chat room there. The Sound of the Jewels, their first of two on the Dimension label, July 1964. Opportunity is the name of the tune. When Johnny G gets the opportunity, I'm going to take it each and every time when I spin my 45s here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, 2 weeks ago on the All 60s edition, I featured the Satisfactions, a group out of Washington, D.C., played both sides of their first of three on the Smash label. Came out in October of 1966. It was called Give Me Your Love. I think Mark requested that side, that flip side, and then I played Stop Following Me, both sides of their first record. They later recorded for the Lionel label, had another 3 releases on the Lionel label. This is the B-side to their second release, a tune written by Landy McNeil. Landy McNeil, he was a member of the Corsairs, recorded for Tough, the later group Corsairs, on Tough Records. He also had some solo releases, but this is from September 1970. The Satisfactions on the Lionel label. It's called Turn Back the Tears.
Saying you found somebody new.
touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there by the Satisfaction, September 1970 release on the Lionel record label was called Turn Back the Tears. You know, Johnny G can do instant requests only if I have the 45 in my hand. And Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room, he asked Johnny G to flip over this 45 because I played the intended B-side. This is the intended A-side of the 45. Let me make sure this needle's on here. I don't want to mess up these new needles here. Anyway, so let's flip over that Satisfactions of 45. There's a second release on the Lionel record label. And give a listen to the A-side. This one's called One Light, Two Lights from September 1970. This is on Lionel, the Satisfactions, going out to Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room.
Put a light in your window. Don't let him see. Hey, 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 girl, I need you so bad. Pack your things quietly, baby. Let him think you're asleep. I then signal one light to let me know you need me. Two lights, and I'll come running to your side, 'cause I'll be hiding in the bushes across the street. And all you have to do is signal to me. One light, two lights. Put a light in your window. Don't let him know, or he'll stop you like before. We'll slip away, darling, darling, to some secluded place we'll go. Hurry, hurry up, hurry up. Come on, girl, signal one light to let me know you need me. Two lights, and I'll come running to your side, 'cause I'll be hiding in the bushes across the street. And come rain or shine, I'll be here till you're mine. Oh, yeah. One light, two lights. We fell in love by chance. Our young hearts never planned this romance. Your mom and dad you have told, and your mom she's insistent. Your dad won't let you go. So signal one light, baby, baby, when you're ready to go. Two lights, and I'll come running with the ladder so we can heal. 'Cause I'll be hiding in the bushes across the street. So come on, girl, signal to me. One light, baby, baby, I got my track shoes. Two lights, before he knows it, girl, we'll be gone. Oh, yeah.
Instant requests here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. That's the Satisfactions. That's the A-side of their second release on the Lionel record label. Song entitled One Light, Two Lights. That one there released in September of 1970. I featured Turn Back the Tears, the B-side of the 45. Let's continue now. This singer is out of Doe Run, Georgia. First recording for the Soft label in March of 1968. Others followed on LaCam, Mercury, and Silver Fox. Let's give a listen to his first of three on the Silver Fox label. The tune written by Bobby Womack, Jerry Butler, and Jimmy Holiday. So I'm wondering if somebody else did this, or they just wrote it for this singer. This one produced by Dave Smith for Shelby Singleton Productions, Inc. We go to July of 1969 for Willie Hobbs. Willie Hobbs on Silver Fox. It's called Yes, My Goodness, Yes.
Without hesitation or reservation, I declare that I do. When I needed love too much, baby, you gave me your very best. And when people ask me, am I blessed? I say yes, my goodness, yes. I say yes. You ask me, do I ever think about you? I say I don't think, no I don't think, girl, I could live without you. Guess what? I ain't gonna try, 'cause that would be a hint of a lie. And you know your loving satisfied. Yes, my goodness, yes. I say yes, my goodness, yes. Oh, you gave me hope, girl, when I had none. And every morning I thank the Lord that you are the very one to say, baby, how long will you need me? I said the only true reply is, as long as you let me. On my job, every day, and late at night, when I'm till the break, the very first words I say is yes, my goodness, yes. I say yes, my goodness, yes. I should have been blessed, baby, my goodness, yes. I say yes, my goodness, yes. Oh, I've been blessed, baby, my goodness, yes.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Willie Hobbs. Willie Hobbs from July 69 on the Silver Fox label. Yes, my goodness, yes. I mean, I did check, but Mark Speck mentions in the chat room that Velma Perkins did it. She probably did it first on the Twilight record label. I did find that Al Perkins recorded this on Atco. I have the record, but now Mark says that Al was Velma's brother. There you go. So there you go, family affair. But he did it about the same time. I think it was released the same time as his Willie Hobbs release. Let's continue here. Now, you would never have thought that this next singer could do a record like this. You know, usually if you were looking in a box of 45's and you came across this, you probably wouldn't purchase it. You know, you wouldn't do it. But this gal was born January 17th of 1927. First recording for RCA back in 1953. But she was also an actress and a dancer, and probably best known for a Christmas tune that she does, a song called Santa Baby. She also played the Catwoman in the ABC TV show Batman back 1967. I think it was the third season. So she would probably have been the third Catwoman. Robert Neal, you would know better than me. But after she left RCA, she had other releases on Cap and Decca, and she did 2 for the Music Core record label. Now, this was the A-side of her second release. It was produced by Luther Dixon, and you would never have thunk that she did a record like this. This is from November of 1966. This is Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt on the Music Core record label. It's called There Comes a Time.
There comes a time a girl has got to say, no, no, baby. You can't break this heart of mine. You've gone and done it every time, but no more. Even though I love you, I gotta leave you. Oh, there comes a time a girl has got to say, stop it, baby. Things can't go on as they are. You've lied and cheated, you've gone too far, but no more. Got to put you out of my mind, so I won't be hurt like there comes a time a girl has got to say, baby, I've got to put an end to this. Although I'll dive in on your sweet, sweet kisses goodbye. Even though I cry, you know the reason why.
That's from November 1966. Miss Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt on the Music Core record label there. It's called There Comes a Time is the name of the tune. Let's flip it over here. Another interesting flip side on this 45 here. This is the B side, and interesting that the A side of her, this was the A side of her first release on the Music Core record label. They put it as the B side to her second. This is from November 66, Eartha Kitt on Music Core Records. It's called Any Way You Want It, Baby.
I don't wanna keep you, baby, if you don't wanna be here. I don't wanna make you take the things you can't accept. I won't force my love upon you just to satisfy myself. All you gotta do is let me know. Should I stay or should I go? That I'm confident that I can stand alone, or that I don't need you. I'm no island, I'm not stone. I'm just the same as any girl is, raised on love and foolish pride. But if you're gonna love me, you gotta say it. Tell me if you don't. just the same as any girl is, raised on love and foolish pride. But if you're gonna love me, you gotta say it. Tell me if you don't, I can take it any way you want it, baby. So baby, ask me any way you want it, baby. So baby, ask me, baby, 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 ask me, baby. Do you want it square or round? I don't care. Do you want it here or there? It doesn't matter to me anywhere. Oh, baby, 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 oh, baby.
She was almost, what, 40 years old at the time she recorded that? I mean, how many, and she wanted to be with all the, she had that upbeat teen, she wanted to get in with the young crowd to sing around, and she was doing the Batman series and whatnot, so she wanted to be part of it. She was, November 1966, Eartha Kitt, that's the B-side there, Any Way You Want It, Baby, on the Music Core record label. Now, it was unfortunate that she was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2006, and she passed away on Christmas Day, 2008, just 3 weeks short of her 82nd birthday. But we remember Eartha Kitt here on the All 60s edition. Let's continue here. Been featuring this singer, born in Ashland, West Virginia, but raised in Philadelphia. Now, after serving in the military, he returned in 1958 to form the Gainers, a 1950s vocal group recorded for the Red Top, Cameo, Mercury, and Tally Ho record labels. Then in 1963, he teamed up with Bert Burns and Jerry Ragavoy, who brought him to United Artists Records, where he would have 11 singles, and this was his first single on United Artists, written by Burns and Ragavoy under the aliases of Burt Russell and Norman Mead, and the Enchanters, who are backing him up. This isn't his Enchanters group. These are really the Gospelaires. They're doing the background work, and they are Cissy Houston, Dionne Warwick, and Dee Dee Warwick. And this is my big hit for the night. Excuse me, Mark, you said I'm taking a chance here. Let's hope that the copyright police don't arrest Johnny G. But this is the big hit for the night, number 4 on Billboard and Cashbox, and a big number 1 on the R&B chart. This is from July 1963. We'll call this a classic by Garnet, Mims, and the Enchanters, and his tune called Cry Baby.
I do. So take the and the heartache too. Oh, honey, you know I'll be around when you need me. So go on and cry, baby. Cry, baby. Cry, baby. Welcome back home. I've spent so many nights just waiting for you to come walking through that door. And even though you've made a fool of me so many times before, I know that all it takes is just the sight of your face to make me realize that I'll always love you, darling. And I can see that you've got some more tears to shed. I can see it, baby, because your eyes are getting red. So come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on in. Cry, baby. Cry, baby. Cry, baby.
July 1963, they're on a styrene that plays pretty decent, I have to say. You know how Johnny G, you know that my relationship with styrene 45's is not a good one. That's Garnet, Mims, and the Enchanters there. The first of 11 singles for United Artists. Song entitled Cry Baby. Johnny G not being a cry baby tonight as we continue here for this next group from Shelby, Mississippi. First recorded gospel with their first release in 1956 on the VJ record label. The group included Curtis Kelly, Robert Kelly, Andrew Kelly, Charles T.C. Lee, and Ophi Reese. Collectively, they recorded as the Kelly Brothers, and after VJ, they signed with the gospel label Nashboro Records. That's Ernie Young's gospel label, Nashboro, and they continued with more gospel recordings on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. In 1960, they had 7 releases on Federal Records. Then they recorded as the Kingpins for Federal in 1963. They would sign with Russell Simms's Sims label in September of 1964 and have 11 releases. Let's give a listen to their 10th release, written by the lead singer. His name is Curtis Kelly. This one from March 1967. Let's give a listen to the Kelly Brothers on Sims. It's called Ouch, Oh Baby.
Pretty baby, oh baby, your love is hurting me.
That's the secular sound of the Kelly Brothers there, March 1967. It's on the Sims record label. That's their 10th of 11 releases on the Sims label. And Curtis Kelly, the lead on that. In 1967, they signed with Ernie Young's Excello Records for 6. I have others pulled, so stay tuned on future Wednesday night shows for the Kelly Brothers. Up next, a request for Jimmy Amato. Here is your request. I was looking for it last week, and I found it when I was looking for 50s records. It was because it was supposed to be filed back. I think I played it, at the end of last year, so that's why it wasn't where it was supposed to be. But Jimmy Amato requested this in our YouTube chat room as we head back to Detroit, Michigan, to the Motown label. For this gal, she entered a local talent contest, and the prize included a recording contract with Motown Records. She was 13 years old at the time, and she won the contract, and she ended up with 3 singles. I should say she won the contest, not the contract. She ended up with 3 singles on the Motown record label, and Jimmy Amato requested her third, a tune written by Smokey Robinson. I think she might have been 15 years old at the time when she recorded this one, but this is the intended B-side. The A-side is called When Someone's Good to You, which is a good record too, by the way, but Jimmy requested the B-side, November 1964. Let's give a listen to Carolyn Crawford. Carolyn Crawford on the Motown label. It's called My Heart. This is for Jimmy Amato in the YouTube chat room.
My ears must be connected to my heart. I found out when you said we had to part. At first I couldn't believe that I had heard it. How could you have fixed your mouth to word it? I thought that you had come so you could hold me. I just couldn't believe that you had told me we must part. Baby, I heard it with my ears, but a pain ran through my heart, poor heart. Oh yeah, my heart must be connected to my eyes, something I had never realized until I saw you walking out of my door, saying that I never see you anymore. At first I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You don't know the shape that you left me in when we had to part. Oh, my baby, I saw you with my eyes, but a pain ran through my heart. Oh, heart. Tears rain. My ears can hear the news of the new love you may choose, but my poor heart, it has to stand the pain. My eyes must be connected to my heart, 'cause ever since the day we had to part, baby, I don't think I ever told you, but my arms are aching just to hold you. I couldn't believe my arms had freed you. Come on back to me because I need you to make a new start. Baby, let my eyes look your way. One more time. Let my ears hear you say you'll be mine. Let my
November 1964 release there for Carolyn Crawford. That is their third release on the Motown record label. 15 years old there. Pretty nice voice. Song entitled My Heart. That's going out to Jimmy Amato in our YouTube chat room. Let's continue now for this next singer. Originally from Henderson, North Carolina, he was born Benjamin Earl Nelson, first recorded back in 1958 for a group called The Crowns on the R&B record label. This group would sign with Atlantic Records in 1959 to become the New Drifters. They became the New Drifters. Atlantic had like a copyright on the name The Drifters, so lead singer of this New Drifters group would change his name from Benjamin Earl Nelson to Ben E. King, and he was one of the great lead singers of the Drifters. Clyde McPhatter, the first one, plus others, but he would go solo in 1960 with 33 releases on the Atlantic subsidiary Atco Records. Let's give a listen to the B-side to his 27th release, a song he wrote. This one from May 1967. Benny King on the Atco record label. It's called Teeny Weeny Little Bits.
Baby, won't you love me a little bit? You, baby, come and love me a teeny little bit. I'm not the way I used to be. You bring out all the good in me. Whatever I have done before, I promise to you I'll never do it no more. If you would only love me a little bit. I need you to love me, oh love me, a teeny weeny little bit. You'll find that I'm your ideal guy. Don't fight it, give my love a try. There's nothing you could think you need. I'll be right there just to please you. Only your love. I need just a little love. Oh baby, you know I need a teeny weeny little bit. I'll make your every wish come true. That's not all I want to do for you. If you'd only give me half a chance, I'll start planning all those wedding plans for you. If you love me, a teeny weeny bit of love, just a little bit. I need just a little of your love. Oh, need it. A little of your love, and I need it, baby. Got to have it. A teeny weeny bit of your love. Oh, you know I need it, baby.
That's the 27th of 33 on the Atco label for Mr. Benny King, released in May of 1967. Teeny Weeny Little Bit is the name of that tune. Now, he continued to record into the 1990s. He would have his last national hit in 1975, a 45 I purchased when it came out on I think it was Atlantic. Supernatural Thing. It was unfortunate that he passed away on April 30th of 2015 at the age of 75 from a short illness. But again, we remember all these singers here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, this singer born Willie Lee Lampkin in Starkville, Mississippi, first recording gospel. His debut single under his real name came out out in 1959 on Fine Art Records, was a gospel 45. Now, he would head to New York City and record for Lloyd Price and Harold Logan. They would lease out those songs that he recorded for them, lease them out, I think, to Gone, also to the Peanut record label, and also to ABC Paramount in 1961. Now, in 1963, he had a release on Lloyd Price's Double L label. Then in 66, he would head back to Detroit, and he would record for Mike Hanks labels D-Town and Wheelsville. Then in 1966, he recorded for Don Robey's Duke label, had 3 releases on the label. This was his first, and it's actually a re-recording of a song that he did earlier on the Peanut label in August of 61. He re-recorded it in September of 1968. It's a newer version, and I think this is his best record in my opinion. This is Buddy Lamp from September 68. It's on the Duke record label. It's called I'm Coming Home.
Oh, does she or doesn't she love me? I wonder, does she or doesn't she still care? I'm coming home, coming on home. See that everything is still alright. I wonder now, is she or isn't she waiting? Is she or isn't she true? I'm coming home, darling, coming on home. See that everything is still alright. Listen, somebody wrote me a nasty letter, but I just don't believe what they say. Think I better leave this town, baby. I better leave today now. I got to find my baby right away. Oh, will she or won't she be waiting? I wonder now, will she or won't she be there? I'm coming home to you, baby, coming on home. See that every little thing is still alright. Listen, I'm coming home, baby. Oh, I got my ticket in my hand. Lord, I'm a worried man, baby. I'm on my way, yeah.
That's the first of 3 for Buddy Lamp. Buddy Lamp on Duke Records, September 1968. I'm Coming Home is the name of that tune. Let's go, let's give a listen to these gals from Chicago's West Side, discovered in 1964 by newly appointed Midwest A&R director for ABC Records, and that would be Johnny Pate. He discovered them. They would have 3 releases on the ABC Paramount record label. Then they would sign with the Chess label in 1967 for 2. This is their second. This trio included lead singer Bernice Willis and her cousins Thelma Mack and Laurel Ross. Collectively, they were known as the Kittens. This is their second of 2 on the Chess label, produced by Gerald Sims. This one from July 1968. These are the Kittens on the Chess label. It's called How Long, parentheses, Can I Go On?
I walk down the lonely streets, and every face I see
your heart's in danger. If you need proof, just take a look at me. I've lost my love now hopelessly. How long was that? Oh, how long can I go on without you? Maybe someday I'll find somebody who's big and strong, someone to cling to. 'Cause everybody needs somebody. And right now, darling, I need you. If you need proof, just take a look at me. I've lost my love now hopelessly. How long was that? Oh, how long can I go on without you? Oh, how it hurts to be all alone. No one to care, no one to call your own. How it hurts to be all alone, sitting in my lonely room, hoping you'll come back soon. I walk down the lonely streets, and every face I see is a total stranger. Sweethearts pass me holding hands, and I wanna shout, your heart's in danger. If you need proof, just take a look at me. I've lost my love now hopelessly. How long was that? Oh, everything is going wrong. Darling, I can't go on like this. You fill my world with emptiness. How long was that? Go on without you.
That's the sound of the Kittens here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. July 1968, their second of two on Chess Records. How long, parentheses, can I go on? John G can go on for hours and hours, although we're going to shut down here around midnight tonight. Maybe a little bit of overtime. We'll see how it goes. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. And if you're new to the program, those of you watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Click the thumbs up. Very important, because YouTube monitors Johnny G. And we need to get my subscriptions up. Trying to get to 1,000 so then I can give you some demonstration teaching videos about record collecting. Now, wouldn't that be cool to do that? But let's continue here. Up next, a singer born in Indianapolis, Indiana. He would relocate to California and would first record way back in 1953 as the lead singer of the Lamplighters on the Federal record label. I often feature that group on my Saturday Night 50s show, but in 1957, he went solo, recording for the Aladdin record label. You may know his biggest hit called Little Bitty Pretty One, but he would continue to record into the mid-1960s with releases on Cub and Dot and Imperial, and this is his very last single. Came out on Frank Sinatra's Reprise record label, and it's a cover tune. This song was first recorded by Jackie DeShannon on the Liberty label back in January of 1963. Now, she co-wrote this tune with her friend, her writing partner, Sharon Shealy. This version produced by Jimmy Bowen. Let's go back to February 1964 for Thurston Harris. Thurston Harris on the Reprise record label, and this cover tune of the Jackie DeShannon song. It's called Dancing Silhouettes.
I couldn't sleep very well
night. So I took a walk neath the moon, yeah, so bright. As I passed by your house, something happened I'll never forget. I saw two dancing silhouettes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw that he was holding you tight, and the lights were low. So I told myself that this just couldn't be so. 'Cause it's been you and I, oh, from the very first day we met. How could there be dancing silhouettes? Oh, yes it was. There were two dancing silhouettes. Oh, yes it was. And I know I will never forget. Oh, it's you and I from the very first day we met. How could there be two dancing silhouettes? I wanna know. I saw two dancing silhouettes. Oh, yes I did. And I know I will never forget.
There you go. That is the very last single for Thurston Harris. February 1964 release, came out on Frank Sinatra's Reprise record label. Song entitled Dancing Silhouettes. As we continue now, and up next is singer from Oak Mulgee. There you go. This next singer originally from Oak Mulgee. I said that right? Oak Mulgee, Oklahoma, wherever that is. And he moved to California, I know that, in 1952. He was a member of the 1950s vocal group known as the Jacks/Cadets. I mean, slash as they recorded as the Jacks and the Cadets. Now, he would leave the group in 1956 to concentrate on a solo career, recording on a number of labels. Now, I mean a number of labels: Hebb, Duke, Top Rank, Laurie, Warwick, Gold Eagle, Soncraft, Dade, Apt, United Artist, OK, Atco, Jewel, and finally the Ron record label. Now that's a lot of labels, and that's a lot of records. If you're going to collect this singer, you better make a lot of room in your box. You're going to have like 65 solo releases. I have the majority of those, by the way. And here's one that I like to play on the Atco record label. This is his second of 4 for Atco, a song first written and recorded by Percy Mayfield. Percy Mayfield did this back in 1953 for the Specialty label, and Mayfield would re-record it in May of 63 and put it out on Tangerine. But this is from April 66. Let's give a listen to Ted Taylor. Ted Taylor on the Atco record label. The song is called River's Invitation.
I've been across the country. I've been through every town, trying to
all over town, all over town. I strolled to the river, and the river spoke back to me. Oh, say you look so worried, you look full of misery, so much misery. Oh yes you do now. And if you don't find your baby, why not make your home with me? Make your home with me. Oh, yeah. I strolled to the river, and the river spoke back to me. Oh, it said you look so worried, you look full of misery. Oh yes you do now, so much misery. And if you don't find your baby, come on and make your home with me. Come on and make your home with me. Oh, don't let me sing, baby. Come on and stand here by my side. Hey, come on now.
Cover tunes here on the All 60s edition. That's Ted Taylor. Has a very distinctive voice. Ted Taylor, he does April 1966. It's on the Atco record label. Rivers Temptation is the name of that tune. Up next, this gal was a regular on Dick Clark's Where the Action Is, so if you would tune in to that show, you'd see this platinum blonde lip syncing or singing to some of the hits of the day, but she would have her own releases too. She was out of Los Angeles, California. Her real name, Christina May. Well, we know her as Tina Mason. She signed with Capitol Records for 3 releases. This was her debut single, written by Joe Armstead, Nick Ashford, and Valerie Simpson. This tune, first recorded though by the Jewels on the Dimension label. I played their second release earlier called Opportunity. This was their first release, or the B-side of their first release, that came out in June of 1965. Now, Donna Lauren also covered this for Capitol in December of 1965. It was then covered by this gal. Her name is Tina Mason, and she was recording as Tina and the Mustangs. And this is from January 66 on the Capitol label, Tina and the Mustangs with Tina Mason on lead. The song is called Smokey Joe's.
Everybody get ready, come follow me. Oh, what a night tonight is gonna be. All the folk you know be there. They'll be coming from everywhere. We're gonna party, party, party all night long. Everything will be going strong at Smokey Joe. about the time we'll get in the groove. Come on, baby, it's time to move now. Work, work, hey, work it on now. Nobody cares how loud you shout it, Smokey Joe. That place is never closed. At Smokey Joe. Come on down. Come on down. Smokey Joe. Come on down. Smokey Joe. Come on.
January 19, I get a copyright on this record here, I see, came across my screen, but that's January 66. That's a debut single for Tina Mason as Tina and the Mustangs. Came out on the Capitol record label, a cover of the Jules tune, Smokey Joe's. Now, it was on Where the Action Is that she met up with Phil Fang Volk. He was a member of Paul Revere and the Raiders, and they would marry on June 27th, 1967, and they were together 55 years until, unfortunately, as she passed away on June 21st of 2021. I don't know what the issue was, but I remember when Phil posted it on his Facebook wall. He's a Facebook friend of mine. Not that I know him personally, I don't, but I followed him, and it was a sad thing that she passed away. There's some clips of her on American Bandstand. There's an interview with Dick Clark. There's some clips of her on Where the Action Is, but that was her first record from January 66. Tina and the Mustangs, Smokey Joe. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening, spinning original 60s 45's out of my collection. Up next, a request for listener Jerry Nazen. This is on the Jamaicos label, a subsidiary of Hawk Records. This record label owned by Bill Seabrook. Now, the group is called the Jamaicos. I think they were out of Jamaica, Queens, if I'm not mistaken. This is their only release, and it features a duet, Diana Taylor and Nat Brown. This is the duet. Now, Nat would have an earlier release on the Brent label in May of 1961, but he co-wrote this tune. This charted number 22 on WWIN in Baltimore, Maryland. This is going out to listener Jerry Nazen, May 1965. The Jamaicos on the Jamaico label. It's called Second Hand Love.
Darling, please, don't believe what they say.
They tell me that there is someone there you really love tonight. I guess it's true. Oh, once or twice, even tonight, girl, you want me back.
I can
I
explain.
love you so, but now I know that you don't feel the same. No, I know you don't feel the same, no, girl.
But listen, darling,
When late at night I sit all alone and count the tears that fall.
So many times I counted them.
Darling,
Yes, my
if
love.
what they say was true, I wouldn't see you out.
I really can't get my...
That's going out to Jerry Nason there, the Jamaicos, a duet there with Diana Taylor and Nat Brown. May 1965, that's on the Jamaico label, song entitled Secondhand Love. We're going to get to the flip side of that 45 in between this next one that I'm going to insert as this next singer. She's out of San Francisco, California, was previously the lead singer of a vocal group called the Fairlanes. And they had a cool record in 1961 on the Continental label called Writing This Letter, an excellent ballad that I feature on my Saturday night show. She would go solo in 1962 with 2 or 3 releases. I don't know. I have 2 releases here on Lee Hazelwood's Eden record label. Then she signed with Warner Brothers Records in 1964. This is her third of 4 on Warner Brothers. It's produced by Joe Saraceno, Saraceno, and Phil Spector protege, Jerry Riopel. And this one arranged by the Wrecking Crew bass player, Ray Pullman, and it features the uncredited Blossoms. The Blossoms are backing her up, but they're not mentioned on the label here. This is from July 1964 on Warner Brothers Records. Let's give a listen to Ramona King, and she's singing about me, your disc jockey. It's called Run, Johnny, Run. I'm telling you, I have the most intelligent listeners. Has to be, because Santi said it before I said it. And that tune there, Ramona King there, July 1964, that's her third of 4 on the Warner Brothers record label. Run, Johnny, Run is the name of the tune. Now, again, the bass player on that was Ray Pullman. He was with the Wrecking Crew. They also backed up Jackie DeShannon on, and Santi mentions it. He says in the Oldies and More chat room that the start of this Run, Johnny, Run reminds him of a Jackie DeShannon tune, and he is correct. They stole that guitar riff from When You Walk in the Room, that Jackie DeShannon. She was the first one to cover that record, to do that record. But again, it shows up in this single by Ramona King. It's very interesting, but it is. That's it. The Blossoms backing her up on that. They're uncredited. She would have another on the Amy label in 1967, and in 1969, one on the Action label, and two more in the 70s, by the way, on the Vercap label and also on Soul Set Records. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. It's our all 60s get-together here. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes. I'll be back next Wednesday evening beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can either tune in on oldiesandmoreradio.com or you can watch me on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, it would be great if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, give me the thumbs up. They're always checking on Johnny G, and click the bell so you get notifications when Johnny G goes live. Let's flip over that Jamaicos 45 on the Jamaicos label, as Jerry also requested the flip side, which is a cover song. This tune first recorded by the Moonglows back in 1955 for Chess Records. This version done 10 years later, again featuring the duet of Diana Taylor and Nat Brown. And this one did really well out in California. It was a number 6 record on KFOX out in Los Angeles and KEGM in San Diego, California. Big number 6 record. This is for Jerry Nays in May 65. The Jamaicos on the Jamaicos label with their rendition of the Moonglows tune, Most of All.
I want your warm embrace. No one can never take your place. No, I need you most of all. Yes, I do, girl. And most of all, I need your girl, I need your sweet caress, yes. Truly I'm down on my knees, let me confess. I need you most of all. And most of all, the one thing, yeah, that I really miss, yeah, is the way, girl, that we used to kiss back. I need you most, yes, most of all. Most of all. Yes, I do, girl. Please come back to me, Diana. Do you remember the way we used to kiss?
I remember.
I need you so very much, darling. Please come on. Whoa.
Cover tunes here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Jamaicos with Most of All. That's the Moonglow's original tune from 55. This is May 65 on Jamaico Records, going out to listener Jerry Nazin. Now, 2 weeks ago on the All 60s edition, I featured this singer from Houston, Texas, played the B-side of his fourth of five on the Decca label. It was called You Don't Have to See Me Cry. And that was a song that he wrote. Now, let's give a spin to the A-side here before I file it back down in the No Humidity basement. He also wrote the A-side from May 1968. His name is Leon Haywood. Leon Haywood on the Decca label. It's called I Want to Talk About My Baby.
She's mine, all mine. Ooh, she's quite enough woman for me, and she suit me to a T. When it comes down to loving me, nobody can turn her out. She's my baby, my baby, my baby. She ooh me, yeah. When she touch me, set my soul on fire. Woo-hoo. I need my baby, and I want my baby. Woo-hoo. She's my baby, my baby, my baby. Ooh me, yeah. When she touched me, set my soul on fire. Ooh, she's got all the loving I need, and she suit me to a T. When it comes down to loving me, nobody can turn her out. She's my baby, my baby, my baby. She grew me, yeah. Yeah, she's really alright. She's alright. She's really alright. Yeah, she's really alright. Yeah, she's alright. Woo! She's really alright.
That's the fourth of five on the Decca record banner for Leon Haywood. Leon Haywood, May 1968. I Want to Talk About My Baby is the name of that tune. He recorded into the mid-1980s with releases on 20th Century Fox, MCA, plus other labels. Let's continue now for this next group. They're out of Brooklyn, New York. The lead singer, he's Anthony Gourdine. I'd feature him on my 50s show as a member of the DuPonts, recording for Winley and Royal Roost Records. Also recorded with a group called the Chesters on the Apollo label, 1957. Then finally, in 1958, as Little Anthony and the Imperials. You know who gave him Little Anthony? Dick Clark. Dick Clark's called him Little Anthony, and it stuck. Now, his first releases as Little Anthony and the Imperials came out on George Goldner's N record label. Others were on Roulette. Then they signed with Don Costa's DCP International label for 6 releases. Then United Artists, the subsidiary Veep Records. And then in 1966, wait, what did I say here? They had 18, that's what I wanted to say. They had 18 on the Veep record label beginning in 1966. Then they would close out their contract because Veep is owned by United Artists as 5 on the United Artists parent label. Now, this is the B-side to their 5th release. So this is their very last release with their association with Veep and United Artists Records, and a tune written by Tom Bell and Linda Creed. This one from September of 1970. This is Little Anthony and the Imperials, as we a touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition, and this one is on the United Artists record label. It's called If I Love You, Little Anthony and the Imperials.
All of my lonely life I've dreamed of you. You're like a fairy tale, a wish come true. So many times I've tried to let you know I'm glad you're mine, but still you're so afraid someday I'll go and use your head, and I love. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? If I love you. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? Maybe I failed to make you understand how much you mean to me. You're part of every plan. In every way you help me through the problems of each day. Why can't I make you see that you're my life? You're a part of me that I love. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? If I love. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? So many times I've tried to let you know I'm glad you're mine. Why can't I make you see that you're my life? You're a part of me and I love. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? If I love. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? Yes, I love. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? If I love. Can't you see I'm in love? Why would I leave you? Can't you see I'm in love? Yes, I love. Why would I leave you?
Touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition. That's Little Anthony and the Imperials, his very last release, I guess, on the Veep United Artists labels. If I Love You is the name of that one, September 1970. I like that sound, that cool rockin' sound. Well, you know, like a rockin' back and forth slow dance there. Let's continue here. How about another hit record? Johnny G really pushing the copyright police tonight. I think I only saw one thing, that Tina Mason came up. Maybe they had a problem with me playing that 45. Hopefully not on this one. This song was number 14 on the R&B chart, number 13 on the Billboard chart, number 11 on Cashbox, and a number 1 record in a lot of places. I couldn't name all the stations, but I'll tell you the states: Delaware, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Tennessee, and New York, all number 1s in those states. And he's really not even a one-hit wonder either. It's just unfortunate. This was his only song to hit the Billboard Hot 100. I think maybe he had another one or two, but not many. He's originally from Franklin, Tennessee, first recorded for Dot Records back in 1961. He signed to Buzz Cason and Mac Gaden's Rising Sun record label for 4 releases, and his first would become his biggest hit, as I said, written by label owners Buzz Cason and Mac Gaden, and this was recorded at Monument Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, and it features Carol Montgomery and label owner Buzz Cason. They're on the background vocals. Let's go to June 1963. I like this record because it brings back memories of my aunt playing it for me. This is Robert Knight from June 1967 on the Rising Suns label, and his classic tune, I guess. It's called Everlasting Love.
Hearts go astray, leaving hurt when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Filled with regret, I come back begging you. Forget, where's the love we once knew? Open up your eyes, then you realize, here I stand with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You never be denied everlasting love. From the very start, open up your heart, be a lasting part of everlasting love. Well, life's river flows, no one really knows, till someone's there to show the way to lasting love. Like the sun shines, endlessly it shines, you always will be mine, it's eternal love. When other loves are gone, ours will be strong, we'll have our very own everlasting love. Open up your eyes, then you realize, here I stand with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You never be denied everlasting love. From the very start, open up your heart, be a lasting part of everlasting.
Hits here on the All 60s edition as the copyright police pulling over Johnny G here. Listen, officer, I didn't mean to play that record. It was too good to pass up. You got to let it go through here, officer, please. I didn't mean any harm. You need my license and registration, my car insurance. Here you go. There you go. Please don't give me a ticket. There you go. That's a great sound of Robert Knight, June 1967, on the Rising Suns record labeled Everlasting Love. What a great tune that is. And in the night, he has other releases in the 1960s on Bell and also on Elf Records. In the 70s, he recorded on Monument and Private Stock. Now, this song was covered by a number of people. I bought the cover when it came out, 1974. Carl Carlton covered it on Backbeat. I bought that 45. I think even the Miami Sound Machine covered this record. There were others that covered this. I saw the listing there. But anyway, let's continue here on the All 60s edition. And up next, a gal born Dion LaRue out of Philadelphia. And her vocals were added to Chubby Checker's Slow Twistin'. If you know that record from 1962, they added her voice to that track. Came out on the Parkway record label. That was a fit. Well, it wasn't really officially her first release because she didn't get mentioned on the label. Now, the brass at Cameo Parkway, they scheduled her first solo session where she recorded Mashed Potato Time, which became a national #2 record for her, and on her first release on the Cameo label. She had 13 releases on Cameo before she signed with Atco Records, and where she had 5 releases on the Atco. This is her 4th, and it's a cover tune. This song first recorded by Helene Smith. And this was also covered by Irma Thomas back in 1967. This one came out in April of 68. This charted number 37 on WMBM in Miami, Florida. This is Miss Dee Dee Sharp. Dee Dee Sharp from April 68 on the Atco label. Her rendition of the tune, A Woman Will Do Wrong.
Will do wrong for the man that she loves, even let him break her heart and make her sad. Oh yes, she will. She'll forget about her pride for that man that she loves, even though she may know he is bad. What's right to live in sin? Oh yes, she will. She can't stay away, Lord, from the man that she loves. Although he may belong to her best friend. Everything she does comes from the heart. Oh yes, it does. She'll turn her back on mother for the man that she loves, even if mother tries to make them part. And I wanna say now, yeah, 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 oh, yeah.
That's the sound of Dee Dee Sharp here on the All 60s edition. That one there on the, from April 68. That's her 4th of 5 on the Atco label, a cover of the Helene Smith tune, A Woman Will Do Wrong. She would marry a record producer, Kenny Gamble, in 1967. She had a few more releases, 2 on Gamble, and also recorded for the Philadelphia international label. Let's continue here, and up next, this next singer, lead singer of an interracial sextet based out of Vancouver, British Columbia. They formed in 1966. They were called Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers. They had 3 releases on Berry Gordy Jr.'s Gordy label. Now, Bobby would go solo in 1969 with a release on the Motown subsidiary VIP record label. Now, I'm spinning, though, the B-side of the 45. This single was taken from the 1969 LP, if you have it, came out on Motown, called Tailor Made Soul, and which was issued on the Gordy label. But this 45 came out on the VIP. I have it on a red vinyl promo here with the original A-side to it. Who mentioned it? I just saw that Bobo made a comment. He said that this is his favorite Bobby Taylor record. Well, we'll send it out to Bobo in our YouTube chat room there. I have it on red vinyl. It's a red vinyl promo. The A-side was called Blackmail, but this is the better side, in my opinion. January 1970 release, although it was recorded in 69. Bobby Taylor on VIP. This is going out to Bobo in our YouTube chat room. It's called Oh, I've Been Blessed.
Cloudy skies hung over me all my life, and raindrops were all I'd see. Once or twice through the clouds I could feel the sun, but it didn't show on me till you came along. I've been blessed, someone I haven't sent, someone I can't forget. Ooh, I've been blessed. Ooh, and my heart rejoices when I hear your voice. I used to walk life's crowded streets, the broken hearted, nobody reads, just wasting years, just tasting tears. I was so confused, and then I met you, and that heaven that I used to live, you said, bring it to me. I've been blessed, ooh, with a smile that's true, composed by you. Oh, I've been blessed, from my helpless case to your warm embrace, just like a bird with a broken wing into your arms. I'm glad it came. You sheltered me and you thought to me a million heart was torn apart, and our time was held that shook the earth. It was my heartbeat. It was deep looking up, moon and teardrops. I've been blessed with a sunny sky and a world that's mine. Oh, I've been blessed, ooh, since the day we met, and I'm happy. Oh, I've been blessed. I've truly been blessed. Now the footsteps which walk this path can find a true love, sing as I have, by holding hands. Just make your plans, walk together. You'll be blessed with I've been blessed, someone heaven sent, someone I can't forget. Ooh, I've been blessed, and my heart rejoices when I hear your voice. Oh, I've been blessed with a sunny sky and a world.
We'll send that one out to Bobo in our YouTube chat room. The sound of Bobby Taylor. Bobby Taylor, January 1970 release. It's on the VIP record label, subsidiary of Motown Records. I've been blessed, as I'm Johnny G trying to hold back the coughs here. Have that on a cool looking red vinyl promo that I paid $1 for. Really nice copy of that. Of course, he had other releases that came out on Mo West. That was a subsidiary, of course, of Motown Records. Also has releases on the Sunflower label in the early 1970s. Let's continue here for this next singer from Roanoke, Louisiana. Began recording as the Boogie Ramblers, then in 1958 recorded as Cookie and the Cupcakes, recorded for Judd Phillips's Judd record label. He was the brother of Sam Phillips, the label owner, that is, and Cookie was really Huey Cookie Theory. And his biggest hit was a song called Matilda, but other releases came out on Lyric, and here's one that I have on the local Paula label. This is actually a second press. This first came out on the Lyric label in 1964. It was re-released on Paula Records in December of 1965 as Cookie with Berry Cups. Very interesting. It doesn't say Cookie and the Berry Cups. It says Cookie with Berry Cups. Making me hungry here. But co-written by the lead singer. His name is Huey Cookie Theory. This is from December 65. I'm featuring it on Paula Records. Cookie with Berry Cups. It's called Trouble in My Life.
I come here to tell you about the trouble in my life. I never had a happy home, and I could never keep a wife, and that's one of the reasons why I had so much trouble in my life. Trouble in my life. And the second reason is bad luck following me everywhere I go. Follow me for reasons I don't know, yeah. And here I keep wondering about how hard I struggle and strive, and that's another reason why I had so much trouble in my life. Trouble in my life. I tried to treat her right. A girl that would make me a good wife, then I wouldn't have so much trouble in my life. I try to treat her right each and every day, yeah. But no matter how hard I try, it never turned out that way, yeah. She always accused me of my best friend's wife. She's always accusing me and trying to run my life. And that's another reason why I had so much trouble in my life.
December 65 release there for Cookie with Berry Cups. Cookie is Huey Cookie Theory. He's the lead singer there. Gals backing him up. Those Berry Cups backing him up. Trouble in My Life is the name of the tune. That one there on the Paula record label. I featured this next gal's first single on my September 3rd, 2022 show. Well, it couldn't be September 3rd. It had to be had to be another show. It couldn't be that one. It had to be 3, 4, 5. It had to be like the 7th show. And her first release came out in July of 65 on Warner Brothers. It was called I Could Have Loved Her. I Could Have Loved Her was the name of the tune. Her name was Patty Lehman. But here she is again 4 months later on the Diplomacy record label, recording under an alias of Sandy Borden. And the A-side of this is a cover of the Benny King tune Stand By Me. The B-side is written by Rudy Clark, and this song was also covered on the Shrine label by the Les Chassinettes. I think that's how I don't have that record. Lots of the records on the Shrine label are very collectible with the Northern Soul crowd. So I don't have that release, the cover of 66, but this is, I guess, the original. I don't know. This is Rudy Clark wrote the tune, November 1965. Sandy Borden, a.k.a. Patty Lehman, on Diplomacy Records. The song is called Deeper.
Deeper it goes, deeper. Oh, every kiss thrills me more. Deeper. Oh, each kiss stronger than before. I'm gonna lose my soul and all. Deeper. Deeper I'm fall. My love for you is strong. Oh yeah, it's getting stronger all along. Oh yeah, taking over my heart, soul, mind, yeah. Deep blue sea, deeper than the deep blue sea, deeper than the deep blue sea.
November 65 release there, Sandy Borden, a.k.a. Patty Lehman's her name. That one there on Diplomacy. Song entitled Deeper, as we are now in Vinyl Treasure overtime here, and we continue here for a little bit. This next group, they're out of Norfolk, Virginia. They signed with Minute Records back in 1961. Now, their debut single will become a rock and roll anthem. And at the time, it was the lead singer, or the group's biggest hit. It was called It Will Stand. Now, after 5 releases on the Minute label, they recorded for the Philadelphia-based Swan label. This is the B-side to their first of 2. I have 3. No. First of 3, that's correct. First of 3. This tune written by the lead singer, Norman Johnson. This is from April 1965. These are the Showmen. The Showmen with Norman Johnson on lead on the Swan label. It's a B-side. It's called Take It, Baby.
You gotta take my love. I can't give it all away. It's the only thing of value I have. Now you know that it wouldn't be fair for me to just give it to you. But if you want it as bad as I want you to have it, take it, baby. Take it, baby. Take my love. Take it, baby. Take my love. Take it, baby. Take my lips, my arms, my heart, my soul. But your love is the love that's real. Don't take them unless you're sure that you really need them. And if you do want my love, want it as bad as I want you to have it, take it, baby, take it, baby. Come and take it, take it, baby. Take my love, take it, baby. Take my love, take it, baby. I want so bad to give my love to you, yes I do. But I'm afraid I'd be making a mistake had I find myself blue. So make it easy for me. Take my lips, my arms, my heart, my soul. But you love me with the love that's real. Don't you take them unless you're sure that you really need them, really need them. And if you do want my love as bad as I want you to have it, take it, take it, take it, baby, won't you take it, take it, baby, take it, baby, take my love, 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 take it, baby.
B-sides here on the All 60s edition. General Norman Johnson and the Showmen there, the first of three on the Swan record label. April 65 release, Take It Baby is the name of the two. Now, 1968, he would leave the group. He would move to Detroit, where he formed the Chairman of the Board, and they had a monster hit with their first, well, it wasn't their first release, I think. I forget if it was or not. Give Me Just a Little More Time came out on Invictus in 1970. Unfortunately, we lost General Norman Johnson on October 13th of 2010 at the age of 67. Passed away from lung cancer. Of course, we remember them here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, as we go back up to Detroit, the singer from Detroit was a member of the 1950s vocal group The Nightcaps, recorded for the Groove record label. They had singles in 1955 and 1956. His real name, Albert Prentice Hamilton. Then in 1957 had his first solo release on the Checker label as Al Kent. A couple more releases came out, one on Wizard and in 59 and another on the Baritone label in 1960. His next release would be on Ed Wingate's Wingate record label. This tune written by Bobby Hamilton Jr. and interesting that it was arranged by Charlie Colello. This is from August 1965. Let's give a listen to Al Kent. Al Kent on the Wingate label. It's called You Know I Love You.
And I swear I always will. So darling, just hold me close and never let go, never leave me. My life is yours alone, my everlasting love is yours I cried and even cried for you. I've given you my heart so I could prove to you that my love will always be true. That's why I know one day a little luck will come my way. And then you know that you'll be there. 'Cause everything I have will share. You know I couldn't bear to lose you, for no one else can do what you do. I place my life in your hands. I'm at your command when you need me. Just say that you'll be mine until the end of time. Oh, say you'll be mine until the end of time.
That's from August 1965 on Ed Wingate's Wingate record label for Mr. Al Kent. Al Kent, You Know I Love You is the name of that one. He would have three more on Ed Wingate's Rick-Tick record label in 1967. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Let's go out to Los Angeles, California, as this gal did a lot of West Coast session work, but some nice records that she put out. First recording for the California-based Domain record label. Her debut single was in June of 63, a nice song called Gee What a Guy. Her follow-up was a nice cover of the Penguins' Earth Angel. She also recorded a duet with Round Robin. Now, Round Robin, he was the biggest, no pun intended, the biggest artist on the Domain label, and she also had a release on VJ Records, which is not easy to find. I don't know if I think I still need that VJ 45, but she did two on Gene Autry's Challenge label. Played the B-side of this on my 50s, my 1950 show, actually the closer, I think, a couple of weeks ago. I might play it again because I like it so much, but let's give a listen to that song was called Laugh or Cry, but this is the intended A-side, as both sides were written by Keith Colley. This is from June 1965. Her name is Yvonne Carroll. Yvonne Carroll on the Challenge label. It's called Mr. Love Man.
Another night the stars are bright, but I know things just aren't quite right. I'm sad and blue. Oh please, Mr. Moon, oh won't you bring to me soon a love that's oh so true. Got a whole lot of love in my heart, but no one to give it to. Waiting for you
Yes, Yvonne Carroll. Yvonne Carroll on the Challenge record label, June 1965. That's the A side of the 45. Song entitled Mr. Loverman. I'm going to flip it over here because I want to hear the flip side, because I like this flip side. It's just an exquisite ballad that I say, and that is the, what did I say? Was that her first or second release? Johnny G losing his mind here. Anyway, let's flip it over here from June 1965. This is the B side of the 45, written by Keith Colley. He wrote both sides of the 45. This is her second release. Yes, the first one was A Little Bit of Soap, I think. That was her first on Challenge. But this is the best one, I say. Yvonne Carroll on the Challenge label. It's called Laugh or Cry.
Shall I laugh it up and try to cover up the truth that's hurting me so? You really did go. Oh, I don't know if I should laugh or cry now that you said goodbye. Should I let him come? These tears that want to overrun, or make me believe you're still mine and things are going fine. Oh, I don't know if I should laugh or cry. If I cry, maybe my tears could wash away the hurt inside, but I don't think so. Then again, if I just pretend things are fine like they've always been, I'd feel a little better, I know. So shall I play a game, pretending that things are still the same? Or should I just let my heart tear me apart? Oh, I don't know if I should laugh or cry now that you said goodbye. Oh, I don't know if I should laugh or cry.
That's going out to Johnny G there, requested Yvonne Carroll, June 1965 on the Challenge record label. Laugh or Cry is the name of that tune. A few more 45s to go here before we sign out here. I love to feature this next singer, originally from Crawfordsville, Arkansas. Early in his career, sang gospel with the Highway QCs, and he was a member of the 1950s vocal group The Five Echoes, recorded for Sabre and the VJ record label. But he went solo in 1961. He signed with Sam Cooke's SAR label for 3 releases. He would have another 3 on the Derby label. Then in 1966, he signed with Stax Records. He had 32 releases in 10 years for the Stax label. His biggest hit was his 9th release. It was called Who's Making Love. Now let's give a spin to his 15th, and this was taken from his Stax LP, The Johnny Taylor Philosophy Continues. This charted number 43 on Billboard, 32 on Cashbox, a number 4 R&B tune here on the Billboard R&B chart, October 1969. Johnny Taylor on Stax. It's called Love Bones.
Been working all day like I'm doing time. The foreman say you got to do some overtime. Mr. Foreman got to tell you I can't work too long. 'Cause I got to get on home to my love home. I know my baby's waiting, 'cause she's anticipating. But I want to be connected, so our love can be protected.
That's the sound of Johnny Taylor here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Johnny Taylor from October 1969 on the Stax record label. Love Bones is the name of that, and Mark Speck mentions Tyrone Davis also covered that. Actually, he gives name checks on Johnny in his version. That's pretty cool. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to cool original 60s soul 45s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you're new to the program, if you found out, all disc jockeys love to get emails from their listeners. It's only a small portion of the listeners that do that, and that's understandable. And I do get a lot of emails from the listeners on both shows. So sometimes I might not be able to answer right away, especially if I'm preparing for one of the shows. If I get it, like now, I'll answer a bunch of emails either really late at night or maybe tonight after the show I'll do it, because I'll have some time. I got to then start cooking on the next show for Saturday night. But if you missed any of the show, those of you on YouTube, it'll be posted momentarily on my YouTube page, so you could check it out. Again, if you're new to the program, program, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you got to be signed into YouTube, unfortunately. You can watch YouTube without it. You don't have to be signed in, so you can visually see it. Anybody does tells me. I had 166 people tune into the program tonight on the that were not checked into YouTube. So thank you for tuning in, folks, for that. But it'll be up. They run my songs through a filter, and like I said, they pulled me over. The copyright police pulled me over on, was it Everlasting Love that they pulled me over on? So let's just hope that they decide to let it play. I'm promoting your records here. You would think they would let me play them. I mean, it's not like I'm duping it off a CD. They're original presses that I bought when they came out. But anyway, but they're not like that. I have to abide to what the rulers do here on YouTube, so I'm at their mercy, really, unless I had my own server and did it myself. Then I wouldn't care. But if you want to download the stream, you can go to vinyltreasures.net. You can download my stream there on my website. I know that Cheryl Morgan likes to listen. A couple of the other people like to go back and listen or download the shows just for they keep it on their PCs for safekeeping. I don't know. But again, it's going to do it for the show tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, please give me a thumbs up and tell your friends about it. Subscribe to the station. And I got to get up to 1,000 subscribers here so we can start doing a little bit of other things in Johnny G's collection and whatnot. So it'll be a lot of fun going forward. But we're going to close the show tonight with this singer born on July 8th, 1908, from Brinkley, Arkansas. Goes way back to the 1930s. He was a saxophonist, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, band leader, and singer. His band was called the Timpani Five, and had so many releases during his career. I have a lot of them in my collection, on 78 too, by the way. Recorded for Decca Records, but had so many, and even other labels also into the 1960s, because we're getting into the Mercury, Warwick, and recorded for, and this one is on the Tangerine label, and starting in 1962, he recorded for Tangerine Records. It's his 6th of 8 on Tangerine, a song written by Cyril D. Roberts Jr., and I think he even has other releases on Pizzazz Records. It's kind of odd, but I'm talking about Louis Jordan. Our closer tonight is Louis Jordan from April 64 on the Tangerine label. It's called Time is Running Out. And time is running out for Johnny G on tonight's show. Thank you all for tuning in. Those of you on Oldies and More Radio, thank you for tuning in. Those of you in the chat room, those of you in the YouTube chat room, it's a blast, as it always is every Wednesday night. Again, this is the only time I get to play my records that I could listen for enjoyment. If you can't tell how much I enjoy music, I have a passion for the music. So that's why it kind of charges me, even when I'm really tired, because sometimes I only get like 4 hours sleep. I'm up in the wee hours of the morning chatting with listeners. You know, they contact me on Facebook or they call me on the phone. So anyway, thanks again, folks. Everybody, enjoy the remainder of your week. I'll be back on Saturday night at 9 o'clock right here on YouTube. If you like 1950s and early 60s vocal group harmony, you want to tune into that show. I play the records by year. On this show, I do not. I kind of mix them all up because I think they all kind of groove together, you know. But we do this all 60s show on Wednesday evenings from 9 to midnight. And again, I'll be on 9 to midnight on Saturday with the 50s and early 60s. Everybody stay well. I'll see some of you next Wednesday night. If not, I'll see you Saturday night right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
The clock running high. I was good to my woman. I gave her almost everything. I was good to my woman. I gave her almost everything. She jumped up and left me before I could buy the ring. Time is running out. I played number 21. Gave her the money, 'cause she's my honey. And all she did was shout, time is running out.
Okay, folks, Johnny G's off here. Let me show you this record here. Tangerine Records. I run this label, too. It's one of the thousands of labels that I run. Here you go. Tangerine Records. What did I say there? 1960... Yeah, April 64. Louis Jordan. There you go. Probably some jazzy things that he does on this label. Early the Percy Mayfield, those guys go way back. And wasn't this label co-owned by like Ray Charles, I think, originally? But anyway, Johnny G's got to go. I'm meeting my high school buddy he's up from Florida. We're going to go to lunch tomorrow. Haven't seen him in a while. But again, like I said, folks, hope you enjoy the tunes here. Tell your friends about it and give me a thumbs up. And again, we need more subscribers here to the show. So if you know anybody that might like this music, either the 60s or the 50s, then I know a lot of people I have to thank a lot of my listeners for all the publicity they give the show. It's I really appreciate it, really I do. But it's a lot of fun for me. I spend a lot of hours doing it. I do. The last couple days for doing the research on the stuff. It takes me a while. But now that I don't have Charlene to help me, she's in recuperation. So anyway, all right, folks, gotta go. Stay well. I'll see you next time here on Vinyl Treasures. Bye-bye.